Good morning. How's everyone doing? I know the countdown is over. I just need another like 10 seconds or so because we have an issue. So let's see. Select color. I'm going to select this one. Uh, I was so prepared today. I was so ready. I swear. And of course, we had some issues. I mean, why not? Not my fault, though. Not my fault this time. All right, almost there. This thing just wants to work with me. Uh, where should we have this part though? Should we be up here? Yeah, let's have it up there. Let's go. One, two, three. One, two, three. Oh, all right. Let's see. Let's swap. Let's swap. Where are you? Where are you? Where's the swap? I should stop doing these things. I should stop moving stuff. There we go. Let's do that. There we go. Welcome all. Yeah, where'd you go? Up there. It's working. All right. T-Man, how you doing? Welcome. Perfect timing. I just started and we have this issue, all right? So on YouTube side, if there's someone in YouTube, on YouTube, trying to chat with me, as you can see, YouTube has decided to not give chat to me. I can't look at it. It's unavailable. So we're gonna have to live with that. If you really need to talk to me, you're more than welcome to come over on Twitch side. But I do understand not everyone wants to be on Twitch. You have your specific platform you like, so I'm sorry, can't do much about it. One of these days, I hope to start a stream without any scuff. Just one, just one. I think Twitch is better anyway. I agree to a certain extent. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has its ups, right? For Twitch and streaming works really well. YouTube has been, I don't know. I'm still debating whether or not I like it. But there's some amazing people over there, so you know what? Let's stream on YouTube also, right? Either way, let's put that to the side. I'll keep track somehow of whatever. I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I can do this. Perhaps. Am I a genius or something? I might be. I might be. Depending on the result. If it doesn't work, I'm still going to blame YouTube. If it works, I'm going to say that I'm a genius. Is that how it works? I think it is. Let's do this. I've opened chat on my phone. So if there's someone over on YouTube side, you can just add a small message in chat. Hopefully I'll see it. And if I can see it, hey, that's great. All right. So what are the goals for the day? I can't stop drinking coffee. I need it. It's like 6 in the morning. All right. Design document. So the game design document. I've been working on and off on this one, and it's taking a lot of time. I am not a great document or writer. Like, I can't write documents, at least not within like a certain with a certain speed, right? It takes too long time. So I've got this thing, and I've been calling this project the Toy Maker. It's generic. It's kind of boring. Hopefully, within time, I'll find something better. But for now, we'll live with it. And this is my pitch, and I hope people like it because I personally feel like it has something, right? So the idea is, so this is my pitch. I'm going to read it out, see if I can do it with some gusto. Can I get any other song, by the way? Might fit better. Maybe you should just take a break. Let's do that instead. Music, pause. You're going to have to listen to me the entire time. So, the pitch is this: step into the disturbed mind of an old man and a toy maker who has realized that his lifelong artistic obsession has left him all alone. You, the player, will discover what loneliness compelled him to create. These creations, reflecting their maker's mind, are seemingly alive, even aware of your presence. You cannot fight back, you are alone, and you are being watched. How about that? Did I nail it? I think I did. How do I feel about using ChatGPT to assist with writing GTDs, or is that a big no-no for you? No, it isn't. But with a big caveat. I did use AI to write this, but it didn't write it for me. I wrote down everything I could think of. Everything that's on paper are my thoughts, my view, my vision. But AI helped me with a few things. For example, spelling is one thing. The structure of a sentence. So it's more like a very advanced grammar um, system. It helps me with structure and spelling. What it did also do for me, which use the old type of spelling correction things didn't do, is that it also gave me feedback. Not in the sense that I feel like, oh, this is amazing. No, it's more like, did you think of this thing? And no, I didn't really think of that. Maybe I should. So I gave it some thought. So it's like looking up things on YouTube, or so, like you Google or you start looking around and you realize, oh, maybe I should add that to my stuff. I had AI do that for me. Like, hey, did you think of this thing? Have you thought of this thing? Like, you know what? I kind of like that. Just let me go 5 minutes to the side, give it more thought, come back, decide whether I want it. So, super advanced, very expensive spell checker. Got it. It is. I'm not recommending AI for everyone. You need to look at it yourself, have some critical thoughts about it, because there are things that certainly we don't like about AI, right? And I agree with people in many cases. I mean, just the fact that it might be one of the biggest environmental um, downsides in a long time, right? That might be one thing you want to look at. Price, of course. Ethics around whether or not they're using data that are allowed to use. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to get too into it because I'm not really that well versed in the topic. But you need to look at it yourself, be critical, make sure that what you put out when you're done with everything, once you use AI, make sure it's your stuff. Make sure it's not written by AI, or that you just typed in a prompt, walked away, came back. At least that's my view. If you want to create something, make sure it's yours. That's all I'm going to say about AI, pretty much. So what does this pitch do? I mean, the game has a few selling points that I think is fairly unique. I personally haven't seen it anywhere, so it doesn't really mean that it is unique. It could be tens of games out there, maybe even hundreds, that use the same concept, right? But I believe this is the selling points of this project. It's not going to be, I'm not trying to sell this on people, really, to be honest. It is a passion project, so I want it to be something I like doing. But either way, these are the unique selling points of the game. The game creates fear through doubt alone. Ambiguous events make players imagine dangers that may not exist. Without clear external threats, players generate their own fear through paranoia and uncanny yet realistic environments. It's short. It's meant to be short. The idea would be that, from my perspective, when you enter like a haunted house, there's really no honest threat, at least not supernatural, in my mind at least. But there's still something about walking into an old house or walking in the forest. Well, forest could be argued that it's more dangerous than an old house, right? So if there's no actual threat, what is it that makes us afraid, or at least gives us that excitement, right? And I'm thinking, There's probably scientific reasons behind it, but there's also we are the ones that kind of puts ourselves in that position of being afraid of something. We imagine the fear in our heads. Let's see. So I think that could be an interesting angle to tackle. Can I make the player horrified of playing a game, but purely using their own imagination to scare themselves? I think it's going to be hard. It's going to be really difficult, but that is the fun part of this. If anything, I'm going to make a very fancy walking simulator. So I have a few questions. I believe these questions might be something I will use Claude, to be honest. I use Claude, so to be very transparent, I didn't use ChatGPT. I used Claude to do all the fancy things I mentioned earlier. These are a few things that Claude kind of, hey, you might want to think about these things, and I agree. Like design pieces design pieces is really important, so I'm still working on those things. These are the options that I'm considering. I'm gonna have to tweak them quite a bit because these, I believe, are generated by AI. So I'm gonna have to tweak them quite a lot, but they are a building block. So is the toymaker alive? And the threat is this discovering his past crimes. Really important because does these things up here, the elevated pitch and the unique selling point, doesn't really give a clear idea whether or not there's actually a threat. I mean, at some point you need something that gives you that threatens you, or at least what is the losing condition for the game. When has the player lost? And that is important. So when does the player win and when do they lose are really important for a game, right? Otherwise it wouldn't be a game. So the question would then be, all right, so should this toy maker exist? Or are we just looking at his old memories? So the design pillar needs to kind of tackle that, at least in the sense that if I ask myself, is the toy maker alive? A design document or the design pillar should say, well, you wanted to make this, so now you need to look at that idea and ask yourself, well, does the toy maker being alive fit with this design pillar? So it could be, let's say design pillar is all about memories. Well, if it's all about memories and I'm saying, well, the toy maker is alive, then does that fit a game that's all about memories? That can be argued back and forth, I guess, but I'd say no. So I would say, well, then he can't be alive. And that's kind of how design pillars work. You have to ask yourself, does this thing I'm just considering work with the design pillar? And yeah, we can get through a few of these, I guess. So subtle building to horror, which would mean in this case, you kind of start adding subtle events around as the player walks around. And then at the end, or at some point, the crescendo of the, if you want to put it like that, then you show the horror, whatever that means. In this case, I'm still haven't decided whether or not to throw some big thing on to the player or keep it subtle through the entire thing. Haven't decided that yet. I think the games, are they called again? Fears to Fathom. I believe they do something along those lines, although they do have a decent amount of jump scares. I'd argue they are jump scares. And I'm thinking okay, so people might not agree with this. That's fair, to be honest. Sorry, 1 second. I can't lose my train of thought here. If so, the Fears of Phantom, from my experience or whatever, from what I've seen, is that they take ordinary events people have told on Reddit. I think that is the premise. So you would have things like, well, I was babysitting one night and all these things happen. Not supernatural necessarily. Sorry, 1 second. The events are, I'd say, ordinary, but creepy, if that makes sense. If creepy can be ordinary. I mean, if you're babysitting and all of a sudden there's someone lurking around your house, that's terrifying, at least for a lot of people. a big, burly, muscular man like myself, maybe not so much, although I'll probably pee my pants. But the point is, it is still within the scope of natural. It isn't within the scope of supernatural. It's not like it's a ghost or a werewolf, right? It is a human, an idiot, a terrible person who scares you, but still. Point is, that will be within like a. I think that could be within the scope I want to go for. Like, this could happen in real life. This is not supernatural. This is not fancy. This is not. Yeah, those two. I hope I'm making sense, because everything I'm spitting out is kind of what's going on in my head right now. So if it doesn't make sense, it's because it doesn't make sense to me yet. So what else? Grounded, uncanny. It comes back again to it's going to be uncanny, but within reason, within limits of what the actual world can give you. So supernatural stuff, no. Ghost, no. Poltergeist, no. It's going to be uncanny. You're going to look at a thing and say, I don't like that. I don't know why, but I don't like it. That's the thing we're going for. What else do we have? Justified paranoia. Yeah. The player will build up the idea of they are creating their own worst nightmare, if that makes sense. Elegant simplicity. Yes. I think that was AI's idea. But I do agree with it in that sense that I don't want to go overkill on systems or implementations. And the big reason is I am not a coder. I don't code full time. I've done a few things. I know very basic stuff. So then going, hey, I'm going to create a system that converts or over like pump, I don't know, something super advanced makes no sense in my head then. So I'm going to have to keep it simple. Okay, what's the simplest thing I can do that gets the message through? Right. And then we have option B. So there's a few other things. Grounded body horror. I was considering the biggest thing would be if this is a mentally now disturbed man, what is the weirdest thing, the most horrific thing you can do that's still within the scope of reality? And that will be body horror, which in this case has nothing to do with the player or the toy maker themselves. But hey, a toy maker, body horror, we're going to do some weird stuff with the toys. Maybe even humans parts involved, right? I'm playing with that thought, and I think that could be interesting. Something along the lines of horror, but Pinocchio. That has been done before. I know that. But I kind of like the idea. And again, I'm not trying to make something new. I'm trying to make something I've never done before, or that's me. This is my way of looking at things. I'm not sure what physiological to physical fear transitions from imagined to real. Um, no, I don't think we're going to go with that one. Not sure what it means, to be honest. Ambiguity before certainty. Question everything until you can't anymore. Yeah. I'll restructure that sentence to make sense to me. But yeah, in essence, yeah. Subtle subtle revelation discovered through accumulation, not spectacle. Already got through that. So these go through all the things I want to see in the game. And we're going to fix that, perhaps not on stream, because writing on stream is not easy. Because I need to have my thoughts to myself. I'd love to just spit about it, like just talk about it, because it might find something like, oh, wait, the thing I just said makes sense. I would like to have that part of whatever I'm making. So I might write that down. That's another thing. So that is where I'm at with the GDD. Not a lot. I know that since it's been, what, 2 weeks since I started this thing. So it's not a lot. I understand, but I've had a lot of other stuff going on. Hopefully I'll get that out of the way soon so I can focus more on this. And then other than that, there's ton of other stuff, just mostly notes, so we're not really gonna look at that. Yeah. So people feel like this is compelling in some way, and I'll keep working on this on the side and update people, everyone, once I have more to it. I can also tell you, I found this YouTuber who talked about the way his process of creating GDDs, and he was kind enough to, in his own description, to kind of like, hey, here's some templates you can work with. I like, you know what? Let's have a look. And he gave us these things. There was a few more, and unfortunately, I've lost the name of the YouTube. I might be able to find it again. Hopefully, I will, because I feel his stuff was really good. But yeah, there are a few things, and you can ignore all the hey, fix this things. I'm using Grammarly to help him with the grammar in documents. Don't want to go to AI all the time, if that makes sense. Yeah, the elevator pitch, I kind of done with that. Unique selling point, absolutely. I think we're done. So I'm on the design pillar. 1 to 5 core principles your game design decisions will be based on. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. Core system mechanics. That one I'm struggling with. Really is struggling with because I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure if core systems would movements be counted as a core system mechanic. It could be, I guess. In this case, probably not. So what would be a core system mechanic then? We have interactions, we have light source. So I guess light could be something. I don't know. Story elements. 3 to 4 key story elements that lead to gameplay actions. What makes the player do X? This is not a complete plot summary of your game. Fair enough. Yeah. I'll get to that point, but it's likely along the lines of why are we even here? Why should I go this way? I believe that's where he's going to. Like, why should a player do this thing? What is the story that compels him to go this way? And supplemental art. This part we're going to focus on today. We're going to look for references. I've already started a bit from last stream, so we're going to look at that first. But I think it could be fun to kind of just go through what the internet can show us, and hopefully I'm not going to show something online that on stream that will break TOS, but I think we'll be fine. Right, and also I have this one, prototype, stage GDD, system mechanics template. I'm not sure about this part, but I think his stuff is well made, so I'm just going to read through this on the side. There we go. All right, more coffee. And let's move on to, which is it? Where is it? Oh, there you go. Purif. There we go. And I can also reiterate this thing on YouTube side, if anyone's there. Chat is not agreeing with me. For some reason, YouTube has given me this big ape thing. I can honestly kind of show you all what it looks like. So this is the thing. YouTube tells me, hey, something's wrong, gives me this ape with a hammer. Thank you, YouTube. So something's wrong, and I can't see chat, because what you need to do with the YouTube chat is that you need to grab an URL each time you open chat or start a stream. You need to grab a specific URL from this window, paste it into the custom doc in OBS, and then you'll get your chat. I'm pretty sure there's a way to fix that. I think someone mentioned the last stream that there's a stream element tool that could help with this. I haven't had the time to look at it, and this has only happened to me twice. So eventually, I hope that either I'll go to something like Stream Elements and fix this thing, or YouTube will get their stuff together and fix it. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Last time I collected these things, and I am going to sort them out in some kind of order. And if you're curious as to what software I'm using, this is PureRef. And as an artist, if you haven't heard of this, I highly recommend. Like, this is one of my top softwares to recommend to artists to download this software because it is free. You can donate if you want to, but it is free. And it is one of these just canvas, really simple to use canvas for gathering various like pictures and just it's just good. I highly recommend it to try it out. So if you haven't used this before, you're honestly kind of missing out. Right. So I'm gonna move these. I'm gonna move that as a weird kind of maybe stuff. Let's have toys and dolls over this side. This thing. All of these. That is a weird thing, but I'm gonna keep it. And that's a duplicate, so let's remove that. Mostly I found dolls. Yeah, that's definitely gonna go in weird misc category. Let's do this. Let's do that. These are more environmental, I think. And lighting. Yeah. So let's move that to the side. Am I looking at ads? Starting soon. All right, so we'll see what happens. What next? We can go, I believe, if I do this, and images, we're going to do range, optimal. Yeah, that's not bad or good. That's terrible. What I'm going to do, normalize, and by size. Then we're going to do the range again, optimal. There you go. So normalize, just make sure all of these are roughly the same size. Nice. So let's do the same for this one. There we go. I'm kind of curious, what is this from first to average? Not sure what that means. I'll have to leave that to the side for now. All right, so we do have ads on Twitch, so we're gonna have to wait a bit. I can actually remove this text now. Let's see, scene source. And, oh, well, that's not gonna work, is it? I might break something. Just give me a second. Let's see if I do. Where is it? Controls. Oh, yeah, it worked. We're fine. Back to source, and I can hide this for now because I do believe YouTube chat is now working because I have my cell phone going. I should probably create some kind of what should we call it? Some a playlist on YouTube for mood because although I love Arch Enemy and I hope people like it when they listen to it, it's not really getting me into the mood of horror, is it? It's kind of not. I should be it. Right, dude? Twitch. There we go. All right, we're back. Welcome back, Twitch. All right. So, what are we looking at? I guess a few things. And I want to kind of put these in their own categories. And also, I need to be kind of more, I'm not sure what the right word. I need to make sure I actually want to use these images. I guess that's the thing. So, all right, let's start with this. This guy or girl doll. Let's put that to the side. And why I'm liking this is because of the eyes. The eyes is a menace. I believe it's this. Note. What kind of note should we do? Should we just do simple like eyes are creepy kind of note? Eyes are creepy. That makes sense. I think it does. Let's go with a 36 is probably fun. There you go. Eyes are creepy. They are. They are honest to God creepy. This guy, I'm just imagining a room with these as like kind of the initial room. I'm imagining the art and the dolls, the toys in themselves kind of evolve as we go along. Because the idea will be the toy maker slowly but surely tries to create or make their his dolls more realistic with time. So you would start with, I guess you would call them things like these. These. Let's move this to the side. I guess this will be more classic. Sure. And with the time, you will move into more realistic stuff. God, I don't know if I can call these realistic. And these two are a bit unique, though. So I'm imagining this being. I'm sorry, 1 second. What you see when you start the game, you're surrounded by dolls or toys, like proper. This one, I'm probably have to delete this. This is just way too over the top. Yeah, it's too over the top. It's gone. It's gone. So I'm imagining this being what you see as you enter the first chapter, first arc. You would see things like these, and as you move along, you will start looking more into these type of things. I mean, the idea that he tried to create a child using these things, but this one, um, that just might be silly, to be honest. Or that is his first attempt. He realizes I've only created these weird proportions, but in the end, I tried to make more realistic, and this is like the mid attempt. You know what? I don't like that part. Let's just do this. Or maybe this could be part of the like in between stuff because these eyes look like they're actual. I mean, so dolls usually have a solid, I'm going to call it, it's attached to everything else. This doll, on the other hand, has these eyes that are loose. They're probably moving around, which is really creepy. And also, look at this. There's some kind of flaking. Things are wax surface. I kind of like them wax. You know what? That's honestly a point. How about this? Can I do that? That's good. Yeah, I can. Points. Why do I like this? We have loose and moving eyes. We also have waxy skin. Please don't judge me if my spelling is horrendous. What else do we have? Cracks, flaking, peeling. Let's go with peeling. Skin. What else? Uncanny realism. I mean, the hair looks real, doesn't it? Hair looks real. I'm just gonna put that way in these quotations. There we go. Can I connect these together? I think I can. Mode, no. Images. Can I group them? Pretty sure you can. range by name order or line. No, normalize. Nope. Maybe you can't. I think that was a thing you could do, but apparently I might be mistaken. Hierarchy, not sure what that means. All right, leave that. I don't know. I do not know, to be honest. I mean, I could use them as some kind of surface reference, color reference, perhaps, but I don't know. I don't feel I don't feel it as much. So what if how should we call this? Like an in-between progress attempt by artist, by toy maker. It doesn't have to make sense. At least not to everyone. It needs to make sense to me. Grime reference. Grime. What else do we have? Grime. And color reference. Let's do a question mark on that one. This one is probably one of my favorite images. It's really pale and creepy. I like that. Of course, this thing has a more realistic touch compared to the other ones. Let's do progressed into realism and what else? What else do we have? We have, guess we can go with eyes look real. I'm just making everything I can think of. Just write it down. I'll with Tom, you'll go through this and we'll just sort it out. Like the cracks. Just you know what? Let's write that down. Like the cracks, cracked skin. Also, kind of like the distant look. Something like haunted look. Haunted face expression, I guess. Yeah. What else do we like about this? I'm going to assume that all of these notes are what I like about it. So I'm not going to write down like. Makes no sense. We still have the grime. The proportions seems better than other ones, more realistic. Again, this is probably more towards realism and the later progress in the game, like later arc things. Let's do that. So now the question is, can I? Oh, wait, what's that drawing tool? I can draw. I didn't know that. But goddamn, now I couldn't get out of it. That's stupid. What else do I? Let's do that. Move this to the side. All right. What is it about this that I like? I feel like the idea that when you see this, it will be an attempt to, I don't know how to explain it. I'm drawing blanks. Let's, for now, let's leave it. I can get back to it at some point. Let's see. Let's go with a light ref. Or lighting, perhaps better. We do have proportions and grime. There's, I mean, the uncanniness. I mean, look at this guy, by the way. Who would want that? Ah. So why did I pick this? How about we write down scary room full of clown dolls? Is that like a double whammy? People who hate clowns will be scared shitless, but also people who hate, I guess, a mix of mannequins and dolls would be also like, nah, this is 2 in 1. I hate it. And also dolls spelled like that. Not duels. Let's see if YouTube has unmessed itself. No, it hasn't. All right. Scary room full of clown dolls. I am starting to realize that creating all these things will be an absolute nightmare. So we're going to have to figure out a way, a pipeline that will speed up that process. But all of these are quite unique. Maybe something along the lines of creating a few heads that we can swap out. Clothes. Clothes is going to be a challenge. I've done clothes maybe once or twice before. So that is definitely going to be a challenge. Which honestly might be. What if we skip clothes in the sense that I'll focus on more wooden dolls and toys to begin with, and then we might have a single room or a scenario where you have more dolled up stuff, like more advanced, more properly made dolls. I don't know. I think I kind of like that. The idea of you will also see the artistic progression, not only into the madness and into the realistic, more like, oh, he's gone from these dolls and slightly simplistic toys into he's adding clothes now, which would mean that he's learned a new skill. And over time, kind of like the idea of having some kind of progression. Um, the makers progression skill wise. This is so terrible. I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna do this like so, like so. Add new skills to toolbox over time. Again, these notes are mostly for me. It's not meant to make sense for everyone. And this is kind of what I'm. This thing, though. What should I do with that? I guess this could be one of those defining in betweens. So that could probably be part of this group. As if you have the scenario where at a workbench, you will have all of these various attempts at realism. I mean, look at these things. And he's like, you know what? That's terrible. I'm just going to put this to the side. That could be the trash bin. Thrown away stuff. Thrown away toys. There we go. That makes sense. Let's call these failed attempts. And discarded. Right? As if, like, you know, I'm going to try this. It's just not working. Because look at them. They're terrible. And this will be just like a side prop. It doesn't really show the progression. It's more like what would be in a workshop, right? You would probably have something like this on a in progress, it's been worked on stage. So I'm just going to do that. In progress. So, doll. Again, not two O's. There we go. Let's put this side. All right. These things, I'm just going to write these down as fun stuff. Random. Let's call them random references. Apart from this one. And that. I think we need every toy store needs a bear, a teddy bear. I think that is reasonable. Okay, so the big reason why I picked these, I mean, of course, you have the in progress type of doll. Could be creepy to have this thing like, you know what? Honestly, let's do this. This is a bit more random. I thought this was kind of fun. Not going to use it though, I don't think. It doesn't really suit the idea of a toy store. So I'm just going to remove it. This, it might be overkill. It might be too much. But I was looking at it, and that smile really got me like cringing. But it's a lot. It's not subtle, is it? I'm just gonna put it on that side. How about we add this to failed attempt and discarded? There we go. This could be in progress stuff. Do in progress dolls. Not sure where to put the bear. Where should I put the bear? I should probably leave it for now. All right, so we'll have you right there. And then let's go look more at these things. So why is it that like so going with the subtle idea? I think a lot of these are from Layers of Fear, right? I believe all of these. Ooh, that might not be from Layers of Fear. I'm not sure. Let's do this. Pretty sure that is also from Layers of Fear. But I do like mostly the lighting. I think it's the big thing. It's not much lighting, so I'm going to move you to the side. So lighting, atmosphere. What else? Some of these might not follow this subtle thing I'm going for. I think these might be too much in that sense. Uh, this is borderline too much. I'm mostly looking at the the I mean the red lights might be too much, but I do like the idea of having, I don't know, something like this big god ray type of thing in various places could be nice. This might not be Laser Fear now that I look at it. I don't think Laser Fear had a light source like this. Or did it? Because this one's, I believe, is Laser Fear, but it does have the hands. I don't know. In the end, it's not that important that it is Laser Fear. It's just the feeling, right? Let's move that to the side because what I liked about this part, let's grab this. Oh, I need to do that. Let's see. What are these toys? Toys? I think that's it. Gonna just bump this up like so. Lighting and atmosphere. What about these? When it comes to lighting and atmosphere, what do I like about them? Honestly, they're quite different, aren't they? I personally prefer this one, lighting wise, over this. I'm not sure if I should keep this one. I'm not sure why I should keep this one. It looks more like a progress image, doesn't it? This top one will be like a demo or early gameplay. Well, this will be like the final game. The lighting is very different. High quality. Let's... I'm going to make a decision of removing this, that. Can remove this over here. Like so. And so. God rays, mood. I think that is good. So what about these? I mean, mood-wise, or an atmosphere, this thing kind of tells it all. Discarded toys, but not in the proper respectful way you would kind of. If you like something, if you're an artist, you likely have more respect for what you're doing. But if, in this case, I want to kind of tell the story of a artist losing that respect and going down in a mental unstable state of, you know what, I don't really care. This is a failure. Be gone. And in the pile of, yeah, that, whatever that is. I don't know. This one tells a story, doesn't it? And I kind of like that concept, removing the boat, of course. As if at some point there was this thing that kind of snapped and he created a monument of that moment. If that makes sense, I don't think it does. I'm trying to figure out. It just hit me, just kind of struck me as the idea of you would have a normal toy store where people where that you can see this that this is someone who's still sane, who hasn't lost it yet. But then all of a sudden you'll get into this moment where you see this type of thing, a monument going from that. It's a hidden face, like, oh shit, what happened? You have this normal place, and then all of a sudden you have this, whatever this is, and after that it'll just show you more and more depraved type of toys. Like he's really lost it, and of course, mood wise, painting. This one kind of goes with that subtle scariness that I like. It's not in your face it is just something's really off. I mean, of course you have the blood, right? But why would you hide? Why is it that she looks like she's peeking out from behind something and really trying? Hey, it's like looking around the corner. That's what I'm kind of going for with that one. So let's just add something to that. Let's do this. No, that text might be too big. Um, let's do that. So what is the notes we're going to give these? I think it's just pure lighting and atmosphere. I think that is it. Yeah, don't need that. I'm not sure what that is. This one, let's all move these to the side like that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with these. How does that make sense? Oh well, I'm not going to bother with that. It feels like the text is smaller on this side. Not sure why. Should be like this. Oh, is this maybe too big? I don't know. Not sure why it's doing that. Oh well, we can live with it. Toys, lighting, and atmosphere. Let's do that. We have a random. Oop, that was not what I wanted to do. So what should we do from here? What is the next steps? I mean, I feel like looking for references for a horror game. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna have to look at some really weird stuff, aren't I? What else can we go for? Maybe we should try and look for more environment stuff. Not necessarily lighting itself, but more of the actual building and workplace. So let's see. I do have somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. So we jump back to this. And is there something about this I can kind of look at? I should probably add some reference images at some point to this entire thing. But for now, I think we're fine. So let's just jump to Google. Do we need to see these? Don't show this. Nope. There we go. What the hell is all of this? Do I need to be worried about something? Why is everything like so? Where is it? All right, I don't know what's going on. What type of workshops are we looking for? Toy workshops. Let's see. Let's do that. Warhammer, of course. I can't spell. Toy workshops. Let's try that. There we go. Now we're cooking. How about we zoom in a bit? There we go. This feels more like a cabin, so I'm not sure about that one. Uh, but it's Pinterest. It is Pinterest. I used to really like Pinterest in when it came to gathering reference image, but now I'm just so worried that because 50% of everything you find on Pinterest nowadays is like AI. My experience of it, or at least. But that is honestly a shop, isn't it? Or toy workshop. 8 traditional toys you should try collecting on your travels around the world. That is a sentence. All right. Um, let's see. That seems like no. Plan trips. I'm gonna add that. How about we do this? What else? Do that. Don't have to worry about. Ooh, that is a nice image, by the way. Kind of like that feeling, the atmosphere in that one. So let's go with this. Oh, that looks nice. And like it's surrounded by stuff. I like that. What else? What else? I'm not super worried about things that are photoshopped if it gives the right atmosphere. As long as I'm aware of the photoshopped nature of things. So I'm just grabbing all of these various tabs. Hopefully, I don't. That is definitely AI, isn't it? How about having a look? Oh, maybe it isn't. Is it AI? It's so hard to tell nowadays. Let's see if it makes sense in the background. Um, I get the feeling this is AI. Let's do this. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Because this part. Does this part make sense? Ice Bear. Hey, how you all doing? Welcome. Thank you for the raid. Ice Bear is streaking across the ice fields again. Hey, welcome everyone. How you all doing? You kind of almost timed that ad perfect, though. It's still a few minutes left. How you all doing? Welcome. My name is Pete. I am making a game, and right now we are looking at GDD and reference images, trying to find things that are creepy, uncanny, and kind of reminds us of things that just gives that chill down your spine, right? Yeah, hello, hello, Icebear, how you doing? And my AI is going, or not AI, bot is going nuts. What are you doing? Throwing around all of these things. So what have you been up to? How was your stream? Love a good horror game? Yeah, me too. I don't play them, but I love them. If that makes sense. It's one of the weird quirks that I love watching people playing horror games and freak out. I hate freaking out myself. Does that make sense? I think it does. So, what is your favorite horror? Please tell me. What is the horror game that you feel like, you know what, this game is so ideal? And right now, we're kind of looking at this thing, trying to determine if it's AI. And my verdict is it is probably AI. Fresh meat, fresh meat 911. All right. Visage. All right. Fear. Fear is a good game. All right. Wait, what is, sorry, what is an An elf. Oh, okay. My brain is still fairly early in the morning for me. Okay, so you're doing an alpha tomorrow. What is the game? I'm assuming that is a game you're referring to. What was the game? Or what are you making? And Fresh Meat, that is one hell of a name, by the way. It's a stream overlay RPG. Ooh, cool. That viewers play through an extension. I've loved those things. Similar to stream avatars, but more interactive. I've seen a few streamers do, I would say something similar, and it looks really cool. Beyond me, by the way, it's just I have no idea how to make something like that. But I like the idea of having like a game interactive Twitch thing. Oh, there we go. Hamster Ham. What are these names? That's amazing. Thank you, by the way, Hamster. Thank you. Is it a game ref? Fresh. I didn't know that. Yes, and hey, Hammer. How you doing? Oh my. This is a team of interesting individuals, isn't it? It is now well not for me. All right. Yeah. You know what? How about this? I should probably do a bit more of the like. I'm still an inexperienced streamer, by the way, so I raid stuff is just rare for me. Yeah. So everyone, welcome. I'm gonna do this proper this time. Half did it earlier. Yeah, my name is Pete. I'm a game dev. I do solo game dev stuff. I have experience. I've been doing 3D modeling for like 15 years, worked in the industry for a few years. Now I'm working at the company. We're making this cool flight simulator thing. And I want to create a horror game. That is what I'm doing right now. This is the third stream of that project. I'm working on GDD. I'm working on this reference gathering thing. So I've collected, let's start with that, the more fun part. I've collected these references, and it's all about toys, if you can't tell. And we're going with the uncanny stuff. I love that. Like, look at these things. Look at this. This is what we're going for. The feeling of something real, but what the hell is everything else? Hams, you're also game dev. Cool. Gaming studio currently making a NES Legend of Zelda style campaign called Ethrol. I love that idea. Zelda games is also something I've been looking at. Some like trying to separate the dungeons from Zelda and make something of that. That could be something. At least, I mean, ideas. We don't have ideas are not a rarity, right? We all have them. Uh, why is let's snooze one more time before ads. We can wait a bit. It gives you nightmares. Yeah, that's the point. I want to go for a horror that isn't. I'm going to call it subtle horror or grounded. I don't want these spectacles of flashing VFX or distorting rooms. It wants to be subtle. Like how many of you have been into a old decrepit house just for the fun? You know, like you're just going to enter the haunted house, see what happens, type of thing. I want that feeling. I want you to scare yourself and be paranoid, find I don't know. And also thank you, Ice Bear, for the sub. You're amazing. And Fresh. Yeah, most people ask if my name comes Diablo. Oh, that's where it's from. Oh, there you go. Awesome. This is so much fun. I love this. So yeah, subtleness, and there's a story where I'm not sure how to progress into the story yet. Very early on, but I want the idea. I want you to experience the downfall, the madness of a toy maker who. You know what? Let's look at the pitch. By the way, I think that might be easiest. So the pitch. This is the pitch, and I hope everyone likes this, or some like it, because I find this fascinating. The idea of to step into the disturbed mind of an old man and toy maker who has realized that his lifelong artistic obsession has left him all alone. All right. So something's going to happen, and you, the player, will discover the loneliness compelled him to create. What the loneliness compelled him to create. I'm rambling. These creations reflect their maker's mind are seemingly alive, seemingly, but not necessarily obviously, right? And aware of your presence. You cannot fight back, you are alone, and you are being watched. Yeah, nice meeting you too, Bear. Stream and eat some. Some hot wings. Dude, that's so good. You must lurk and get ready for bed. Hey, I understand it. Understand. Well, thank you all for showing up. Really appreciate that. And also, again, Bear, for that subscription. Really appreciate that. Sounds great. Awesome. Thank you. I might not be online for a lot longer though, but I spare. But if you want to join us like an hour or so, that will be great. I do have work at 9 a.m. my time, so my streams tend to be kind of short. It's within my time scope, like what I have available to me during the day. So, but yeah, if you're still aligned, and if I'm still aligned, you're more than welcome to join. All right, so yeah, we are then kind of gathering all these reference images for this, and also I need to keep track of YouTube. I'm streaming to YouTube also at the same time, but for some reason they decided not to give me access to my own chat, so I have to use my phone to see chat. It's so weird. Where I'm located, I'm in Sweden, so it will be 1 hour from the American, or not the Americans, the English time. I'm 1 hour ahead of them, so it should be 7:20 my time, give or take a minute. So, oh, you're 9 hours ahead. Where does that land you? That will be like Asia. Oh, you're behind. Oh, I'm behind. Yeah, my time is behind yours, right? Is that where it's because I'm +1, you're +9. That would land you in Asia, wouldn't it? Right? Haven't really given time zones that much thoughts before. So, all right, so let's close down this one because it's obviously AI and it's not scary, so I'm not going to use that. Right? I am not using it, right? No, I'm not. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes that makes sense. The West Coast. All right. Southern California. Yeah, that makes sense. Right, 9 hours. Yeah. I used to live in Missouri for a few years, going to school. So that was 6 or 7 hours, I believe, compared to Sweden. Yeah, 6 or 7. Can't remember exactly. But yeah. Let's see. Why did I pick this one? I'm just gathering every image. This is weird. Yeah, skip this. Pinterest. I'm going back and forth between Pinterest, whether or not to use it, because there is a slew of AI stuff. I think pretty much this is probably AI, isn't it? Yeah, that's AI, isn't it? I like Missouri. Uh, Missouri for me, it's kind of hard to put into words. I like the people, I like the environment, but it's just the city I lived in was a small town. It felt, I guess this might be just me being used to what we have in Sweden compared to the US. It's a different culture, right? It's just not enough places to walk on. I couldn't walk around. I had to have a car. It felt like there was a lot of concrete, but there was a lot of cool old buildings too. Not as old as the European buildings or some buildings in Europe, but there was these at least a few hundred years, 100 or so year old buildings in some areas, which was a lot of fun to watch. But then you have the classic American styled highways and you have the malls and everything. Towns are more spread. I haven't noticed because I was like, hey, let's go to St. Louis, which was the big city nearby. And it's like, yeah, it was like an hour and a half away. Oh, that's a bit of a distance. Never mind. And you've never been to Europe? Well, I can highly recommend it. Sweden, of course, recommend that. The US is huge, yeah. it kind of dawned on me while I was over there. How many time zones does it span again? Is it 4 time zones? I think it's on the East Coast, it's 6 hours behind. And then you have, of course, the West. So maybe it's 3 hours then. Is it 3 hours? Or is it 5 and 9? I can't remember. But yeah. No, Missouri was great in many ways. The lifestyle didn't really suit me. I'm so used to a lot of stuff here in Sweden. And this might be weird. I never felt safe in the US. Does that make sense? Again, the people are amazing. They welcomed me with open arms. I even, like, less than a month into living in the US, I was invited to a Thanksgiving, amazing family, a lot of great people. But somehow the lifestyle had some. This is not the correct way to like put this, but I felt exposed. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't, does it? There was a lot of stuff that just didn't make sense to me in my mind, and that's probably my European mindsets, right? When I worked in the movie industry, I commuted 2.5 to 3 hours each way for work. Oh, dude, that's so rough. That's so rough. Well, what did you do in the movie industry, by the way? If you can talk about it, that would be amazing. I never met someone who actually. No, that's half true. But I'm assuming the movie industry and the movie industry we have in Sweden, the scale is different, right? I met someone whose partner, well, wife, I believe, worked as a makeup artist here in Sweden for certain, I would say, classics in a way here in Sweden. Several big budget cools and TV shows, movie TV shows, awesome. How is that, by the way? Is it as intense? So I got the impression. You can talk about it. Oh, cool. So which one is the big one? Which one is it that you always remember as? Wow, there you go. Really, really, dude. Yeah, please. If you can link it, that would be amazing. So we get the right one instead of me rambling about. You have an IMDb page. That's kind of cool. All I have is an ArtStation page, but everyone has that. Nothing cool about that. And of course, a LinkedIn page. Who hasn't one? All right. While I'm waiting for you, like, I'm just going to turn this. This is not what we're going for, so I'm just going to do that. All right, here we go. IMDb. Oh, I'm assuming, by the way, it's kind of too late, but you're fine with me showing this on stream, I hope. Hopefully, I didn't show too much. I mean, you're kind of public figure in this case. Yeah, fine. Awesome. Thank you. All right, let's do that. Yeah, it's already into the interwebs. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. All right, so James, let's see. Ooh, you worked on The Flash. That's cool. Godzilla and Kong, awesome. Dude, you worked on some really big movies. This is okay, so this one might be the one I'm not too familiar with. The Gray Man. Have you got the chance to meet some of these A-listers? Is that how you call them? Dude, look at this. What was your yeah, visual effects? Netflix. I'm not a Netflix guy. I barely watch Netflix stuff. I usually go for the documentaries. Whenever I watch Netflix, I use my parents' account. Well, I used to use it and watched a lot of documentaries. Black Adam, I got to meet The Rock, cool, Hawkman, and the kid, awesome, dude. All right, so I gotta ask you. The Flash always comes up on discussions regarding VFX stuff, right? What is the feeling you've got like so afterwards? Because it is. I'm going to try and put this into the right words. There's some controversy around the VFX on this movie. How was that to work on? Because this I'm really curious because all I've seen are YouTubers talk about it, and of course some article every now and then regarding the VFX. And I'm curious, what is the as someone worked on it, what is your opinion on this thing? The work you guys did. I'm sure you had a lot of fun though. Keaton, of course, Esther Miller, yeah, yeah. You process the head face swap. Huh? You see two flashed in the background. One guy's name was Ed. We took Ezra's head and placed it on him. Ooh. All right. I have no knowledge or very, very shallow knowledge of VFX within movies and in games too. How much manual work would that be? Or do you have some type of procedural system that allows you to kind of swap it out quickly? Or do you need to go in there with your mouse, your keyboard, and kind of start clicking around? You can share a Vimeo video of one if you want to show how it's done. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, please. We're also going to have ads at any moment. Not sure why Twitch can't really time it properly, but it will start in any moment. So we're gonna have a break. I'm gonna grab some water. But definitely, I do want to see if you want to share how it's done. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's do that. Let's do this. Verify. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna try wait for the ads because it's meant to start now. But yeah, for Aqua and the Lost Kingdom. There we go. All right, so we got some ads. And I'm going to take a step away. I'm going to refill my water bottle. Be right back. All right, so I am back. Let's see. I probably need to adjust a few things. Let's pause the music for now. I'm not sure if this is the browser or this is the system sounds. I'm going to open both of them. That looks fine. All right, so once the ads on Twitch side is done, we're gonna have a look at this. Do I need to worry about? All right, so Twitch, welcome back. There don't happen to be any copyrighted music on this one, is it? Right? Do I need to have the volume down? Let's try. All right. There's some.
That's it. It's the last day in England. My voice left. Didn't want to be here. I came because I want to be here. And this is pretty fun. It's
I never
Ireland.
heard
Check
him
it out.
sound like that before.
In the first movie, to create all the underwater movement with the actors, we would put the actors in these really uncomfortable rigs.
Oh, why is that? No, leave that. So I'm guessing this is not your part yet, though. This is just the start of everything. Momoa has to go back to England. England, the reason you're over there has to do with, isn't it something to do with tax relief or you get some kind of, what's it called? It's a financial decision, isn't it? At least, again, my shallow understanding of the movie industry, as far as I know, is that is a very common reason why people do some stuff in England. This is a stage you help build. Oh, cool. Oh, you built 3 of them. Cool. Oh, it's in LA. Warner Bros. Has a studio in Leavesden. Okay. I thought he said England, but okay, never mind. Or maybe Leavesden is in England. I have no idea. Never heard of it before, but you're mentioning at least LA is in there. 3 stages. Okay, cool. Cool.
Going into Aquaman 2, we knew that we need to find a better way to achieve
Oh,
that.
oh,
So I
okay,
worked
okay, I
closely
got
with
it.
Nick
It's
Davis,
one
our
of
visual
this.
effects
Okay.
supervisor,
And it is in
to see
England.
if we can come
Cool.
up with something
Yeah, I've seen
easier
something
for
like
the
this
actors
before.
so they can just focus on the acting and easier for me to direct them as well. And they came back to me with
Wow.
this concept called eyeline.
Eyeline enables us to basically do a volume capture. It involves 140 cameras in a digital volume that captures the performance of the actors, that basically drives
What the
a
hell?
digital avatar.
Yeah, I love these kind of backstage stuff. You rarely see a lot of focus on this part. I've seen the photogrammetry rigs before. I'm assuming this is very similar, although it doesn't really grab the 3D model of the character. This is more capturing. Is it light and movement? Is that what's meant to be like the main reason you have this? Videogrammetry. Oh, cool.
Of themselves.
Okay.
And we basically wrap the avatar with the digital performance, therefore giving us a completely sort of photorealistic version of the performance.
Oh, so it is related to the model, the 3D model, somehow. Videogrammetry, okay. Okay. You use both reality capture and meta shape. How how finely like detailed can you go? If that is something you can kind of tell us. Because my experience from doing some photogrammetry, and again, I'm using like layman's cameras and everything like that. I find that the resolution is quite low, but of course, with proper stuff, you could probably go really finely tuned and detailed. How well can you go? Like how fine are the details? The cameras are 4K cameras, of course. Yeah. So I'm assuming this is really high res then. Fascinating.
It's like basically like VR without the helmet.
VR without the helmet.
So we can pull off underwater.
Oh, wait, I need to check something. I need to check something. All right. Several millions per stage. Oh, I bet. Yeah, this is not like your pocket change of money, isn't it? It's kind of curious if I'm trying to figure out whether or not you used Unreal Epic's game engine. It's probably a big deal. At least it seems like, from my perspective, that it's been integrated into a lot of Hollywood stuff lately. Oh, you used Unreal? Let's go. And had previous. Okay.
So we can pull off underwater scenes that you could never be able to do.
Oh, cool.
We're able to now give
Yeah, I love
James
this
the
stuff.
ability to put the camera
One of my
anywhere
favorite
he wants
channels is
in the
Corridor
scene. The
Crew.
scene becomes three-dimensional.
So watching them having
Any shot
people
he wants. It's really
over
great.
from what's the name of that studio? Veta, is it right? Veta Studios, and they have them talk about all these things. It's so a lot of fun. Dude. Veta. All right, there you go. I think the first movie I heard where Veta was involved in had to be the first Lord of the Rings, right? They were part of the entire series from Lord of the Rings 1, 2, 3, weren't they? And probably even back come back to Hobbits and I think. Well, they were talking about they had blacksmiths who made these swords and these shields and everything. It was so cool. And then you went over to talking about what's the name of that movie? The series with James Cameron, Avatar, of course. And they're talking about their what's the name of their in-house fluid software? Loki, is it? You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a VFX studio here. Really? I never heard that that expression before. Can't swing a dead cat. No, I bet you can't. Oh God. Okay, so I need to ask then. Do you know the location of the Corridor Cruise studio? Do you know, like, have you, since you've probably seen some of the videos, you can probably point to their location. I'm not trying to dox them. I'm just curious if you are close to them. They are like my big, like the only connection I have to the VFX scene over on over Hollywood. And the US, which is of course not a big deal. It's a YouTube channel, cool YouTube channel, but I wouldn't say it gives me this inside, right? Oh, is LA a big place? I didn't know. Studios are all over. All right, there you go. I do want to go to LA once or twice in my life just to see. I think my brother went for GDC, right? Game Dev Conference. That would be fun. Either way, this is really cool. I love this. This part. Holy shit. Just let's look at this. So you have these LED panels, right? You mentioned those. And then you have cameras. Cool. What about the is this just a regular floor with a projected image on top of it, or is this also panels? No. And what about these kind of chainmail looking things or light bulbs? Oh, I should skip it. All right. I might then. I don't know. Maybe in the future it'll calm down. So what about these things? What are these things at the top? Are they like reflectors or something? You don't want the top. You want everything to go. All the lights to still remain within this confined space. I'm assuming. What are these things? I'm so curious. They are wrapped in something, which means they are not light sources. Are there some kind of sensors? More cameras, of course. Is that a fan? I bet it gets quite hot. Yeah, the floor and walls are LED. Oh, you even have it on the floor. That's cool. The ceiling are RGB lights. Oh, that's what they are. Okay. And those are lights, but the covers help. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, that makes a ton of sense. I have very little experience with that type of light source. I mean, so I had to learn when I set up my lights, I had to learn about diffusing lights. And one thing you could do was either put, of course, that white screen in front of them, or in my case, I have white walls, I could divert them onto the walls and have like secondary light source indirect bounces on top of me to diffuse the light. But you had some kind of or what do you want to call it, wrapping around these lights. Okay, cool. Sharp lights. It's really hard to get RC and Metashape to build the Oh, that's true. Oh, that is true. You need to remove all the sharp lights, like you mentioned. Yeah, really needs shadows should be completely gone, right? Reflections is bad too. How would you deal with that? How would you deal? Because okay, so let's go back to Momoa's suit. How did you deal with this? Because it looks fairly reflective, doesn't it? So how would you deal with like yeah, because you would have integrated into the texture of your mesh whatever the reflection showed, right? So if it reflects a green color, that green color will still be in the model, right? So you wouldn't have natural or proper PBR reflections, if I'm explaining or asking this properly. Infrared sensors. Oh, cool. Infrared, I'm gonna butcher this completely. Like LiDAR then, or it's like a completely different technology? I know I've seen people use LiDAR for photogrammetry before, so I'm kind of curious if those two infrared sensors and LiDAR has anything in common. Yeah, so for everyone out there who has never like dug into this before, you can see how each scale reflects. And in photogrammetry, at least my understanding, is everything that is reflected in those scales will then end up into the model, the texture themselves. So if your face is reflected by something, your face will be in the model, in the texture. Yeah, the stage is lighter. All right, but the infrared sensors are not affected by light. And yeah, I was right with the reflection part. Okay, cool. But the infrared sensor are not affected by it. Oh, that is really cool. How the hell? What is the information you will get then from infrared? How would you translate that into my head? It goes to like the proper PNG, like RGB stuff, like RGB and models. How would that translate? I can kind of see how a like the photogrammetry works because you would have images and you would check them with each other and you would then build up, assuming your everything's aligning, you would then build up a model using some very advanced algorithms. But how does that work with infrared? I'm guessing you would also have coordinates, assuming everything bounces back and forth. You can probably do some calculations. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Back in 2023, yeah. Is that kind of where, because it feels to me like the big Hollywood and the big blockbusters are starting to feel the pressure uh, because of like the amount of money that's been thrown at them and expectations back isn't really met by the economy. Does that make sense? It feels like from my understanding is that these big movies they don't get the return that was expected, and I'm guessing that would then affect people like yourself because not a lot more big movies are greenlit or, well, of course, finances, C-suite stuff. Cool. All right, I'm gonna put this to the side. That was really cool. Love that. What else? What else did you work on? You do something else, right? The Flash, Godzilla, and Kong. I haven't seen a Godzilla movie in a long time. Well, that was also something the Corridor crew went into looking at the various Godzillas. That was so cool. Yeah, awesome stuff. And hamster. I'm gonna go by your um, account name. It's kind of hamster and hammer is a bit more interesting. I'm gonna go with that. By the way, are you a content creator yourself? Do you have a Twitch, or are you just a lurker, which is also perfectly fine? Well, actually, you're not a lurker anymore. You're kind of active in chat. All right, so we need music. There we go. Yeah, these are all highly technical. We had a color scientist built a image processing software custom for the work. Oh, dude, that's so cool. Like the way some minds work, how people take all like decades to kind of improve something like this, and the way the fact that someone thought of it kind of blows my mind. Even photogrammetry today, if I really take a step back and look at it, it feels like something we always had, but the technology is kind of insane. Oh, you're streaming. Oh, there you go. And I'm assuming Hamster Hammer is your Twitch channel name. What's the name of your channel? Because I'd love to give you a shout out. Yeah, all right. I've done this twice in my lifetime, so hopefully this works. There we go. And Hamster Hammer. There we go. Yeah, that works perfectly fine. So everyone, if you're watching, dude, this is a lot of fun to listen to what's going on in Hollywood. So Hamster, I'm assuming you talk about that, and you might do. What else do you do, by the way? I mean, talking about yourself is always fun, and I do like doing that, talking about myself. But what do you usually talk about during your streams? Are you also game dev? You might have mentioned it earlier, or do you go into more VFX stuff? Oh, right, that thing is still going on, isn't it? The strikes. There was rumors about second one. Is that true, by the way? Is it true that there will be a second actor writer strike? Again, internet stuff, so everything is a grain of salt, with a big grain of salt. Yeah, the strike. Yeah. What else? So Pinterest, let's wait with Pinterest. Do workflow experiments in Unreal, lots of game prototypes. Cool. Well, there you go. So everyone, do go over to Hamster, have a look at his stuff, and that would be really interesting to see someone with your background in VFX and gaming or the movie industry to what you would do with games. That would be really interesting to see. And that said, I'm going to do this also. Let's. Can I, without. Can I do this? I can't. Move that to the side. Thank you. That. There we go. So I've followed you, and we're going to see what you do in the future. What time is it? It's 7:47. I'm going to need a few minutes just to focus on this now. Let's see. I do like this image. All right, let's see. I primarily focus on NES Legend of Zelda side project right now. All pixel art. Cool. Love that art. And I did. So you probably mentioned that earlier, and at that point, I did say something along those lines. I've thought about creating a Zelda-esque type of game. I have the idea just to separate the dungeon part, just extract that and create a game around them. About 7 months into it. Cool. Does that mean by 7 months, do you have a prototype by now? Playable demo, or are you still in the process of setting all of that up? Yep. I think it could be like focusing on the dungeon part could be really cool. It does feel like that is a big part of the game in general. So extracting that out and expanding on it could be really cool. And still keep it though to the Link's Awakening. No, yeah, Link's Awakening, but 2D, maybe even A Link to the Past. I love that. You want to release once you finish the second demo. There you go. Awesome. Once that happens, give me a shout, and I'll love to have a look at it because that sounds like a really fun project. All right, now I was meant to save this. Let's do that. Let's do that. Add that to the PureRef. Back again. I need this image. This just speaks to me in a way like how I want the feeling of that workshop for the toy maker. I want this mess, but it is a mess to me. But this old man, he knows exactly where that is. Like, oh, where's the pin you lost or you put away 5 years ago? Oh, it's behind that thing that's been sitting there for 10 years or something like that. Still setting up the Steam page, doing a trailer. Oh, yep. You need to do all that work. That's fun. I should probably work on my Steam page at some point. But that's far away. This is just the third devlog, so yeah. No, I didn't see it. I know of it, but I haven't seen it yet. Probably should. Because I am kind of digging into the Pinocchio story, aren't I? Did Del Toro go more into the original story of Pinocchio? The one that doesn't end all that well? It horror adjacent. Okay, I should definitely watch it then. I'm gonna put that down on my list to do. Uh, yeah. Yeah, there we go. And that, back to this. Should I? Yeah, you know what? This thing, we're gonna keep that. I'm just gathering stuff right now. Anything that can reminds me of that process or the feeling I'm after. There we go. Too bad everything else down here. What else? All right. I'm gonna make sure we don't get that. Is that CBS or is it Fox? I can't remember. Have you heard Ailstorm's drinking song? I probably have. I love. Oh, it's NBC. Okay, but I do love the Ailstorm. What is the drinking song? Is that party song? Is that the one? Do you remember the name of it? Is it Hailstorm? I think it is the party one. Oh, there is one called Drink. Is that the one you're referring to? Yeah. All right. You know what? I do love Hailstorm, so I'm just going to throw that in there. Then I have a question to you, then, Hamster. It's not within the same genre, but have you heard of Sabaton? I need to, whenever I have the chance, I need to tell people about Sabaton. Oh, I love this song too. It is great. I'm just going to bump up the volume ever so slightly. There you go. You're a fan too? Awesome. Bismarck. Oh, Bismarck. I do love that. I'm also kind of a fan of their new stuff. What is it called? The one about Napoleon and Caesar and Genghis Khan. Oh, love those. They're actually in the US right now touring. I do believe they're still touring at least. I saw them not too long ago. Sabaton Tour 2026. I do believe they're in the US. They are in Houston, Texas right now. They have a concert on the 13th. Old school. Oh, I love old school metal stuff. I've been told that people can't tell, but I am almost in my 40s. I'm 38 this year, so I have listened to most metal stuff throughout my years. 23-year-old son introduced you to Sabaton. There you go. If I couldn't tell by your profile pic that you're into old metal, I got the impression that you might have dabbled into the golden years of metal. Indeed, there you go. Oh, what is this? Come on, why can't I click on this thing? Ah, ad blockers. Yeah, I know I got ad blockers. God damn. What can you see, by the way? Don't want to show you too weird of stuffs. Ah. All right, another one. That website kind of hated that one. There we go. All right. Should we go to Pinterest? I don't like the fact that it's AI, but there's so much other stuff like this or this. No, I have not. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and I rarely watch movies, to be honest. I haven't watched movies in a long time. I'm not a fan of AI. I am in between. I see benefits to AI. I do. I am not too fond of the idea that they might have used a lot of art that they shouldn't have used because of don't have the rights. It's a gray zone, right? Legally, I'm not sure if they're in the wrong. Morally, at least from my perspective, I think that they should have asked everyone whose art they've used to create stuff. That's my personal view. But there's a lot of things about AI that is positive, but there's stuff that is negative with it. So I think I'm trying to get the full picture. And from that, I'm more like, I don't know. And, and I do have some personal grudge too, not with AI, but with people who may see AI as this everything is fine now. We have the technology to do whatever we want, type of thing. Because in my previous workplace, I was laid off because of AI. Well, because of a restructuring technically, but they introduced AI to do my stuff. So I'm a bit bitter about that. But that was a previous workplace, and I'm over it by now. Well, at least most of it. But we'll see. I don't think that. I don't know how that workplace is going by now. It does feel like they may see some struggles in the future, or they just pivoted so much they no longer need artists. I don't know. Let's see. Let's save this image. Um, let's do that. Hi, Spare. How you doing? Hot wings have been demolished. I am back. Yeah. Ooh, demolishing hot wings. Exactly what you do with hot wings. You don't eat them, you demolish them. Oh, that reminds me. I need to go back. We have a place here in Gothenburg where I live. It has these amazing wings. I need to go back. I haven't been there for a long time. Oh well, it is what it is. First of all, I need to get some cash flow. I spent too much money this past month. I bought this thing. I bought this, and I did do an opening of magic cards during my last stream, but I bought this box of magic cards, and of course, Magic is infamous for its costs, right? Probably gave somewhere around $150 to $160 for that thing. I'm not really making up the money. I did pull a few decent cards, but I don't sell cards, so I'm not getting any money back. All right. Another recommendation. I'm going to write that down. Didn't I? Wait, where did that go? Where did I lose my notes? I did. God damn. Just 1 second. I'm gonna do this. Del Toro. Pinocchio. And what was it? Pants. There we go. There we go. Yep. Thank you, Hamster. I'll keep an eye open for those. Probably gonna have a movie night then. Oh, they are all on Netflix. You might have to see his Pale Man character. He has eyeballs. Oh, yes. I have seen that. That is creepy as hell. So I should preface a few things with the game I'm working on, and that is one of the game design pillars I'm working with. I haven't defined it yet, like fully. But one thing I want to go for is subtleness over spectacles, or not spectacles, spectacles. Is it spectacles? Isn't the glasses, or is it both? Glasses and fancy stuff. I'm trying to remember. Like English is only my second language. I have it written down. Let's go with that. Where are you? Blah, blah, blah. I thought I had it written down at least. Well, either way, the point is same thing. Thank you. So the point is, I want to go for subtle scares, and as creepy, as scary as a creature with eyes in their middle of their palm. It's now part of subtle scares, right? Spectacles are glasses. Spectacle is what you. Yes. Yes. I'm just gonna say yes. You're probably right. No, so yeah, so the idea with this scare is that you're probably not gonna see like dolls walking around, or all of a sudden these flashy VFX stuff. It's gonna be very subtle, and the idea of paranoia and eeriness, of course. Jim the Dandy. I have no idea what you're trying to say there, Jim. So that's weird. Welcome. I like subtle and eerie. Never been big of jump scare personally. I think jump scares has its place. Pooping pants. Ah. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if that's subtle or just scary. I guess scary. Um, yeah, exactly. But jump scares, it has its place, but it can easily become too much. And I feel it's a cheap scare, if that makes sense, because it can also be easily explained as a surprise. You're surprised. You're not scared. You're like, oh, taken by the end of your seat, or whatever you want to say, you call it, the way you express it. It's more of, oh, wow, that scared me. Well, you're going to be more into it, but yeah. So no, jump scares, there's a place for it, but I think it's been overdone, and I'd like to avoid it as much as possible. More like shock, not fear. Exactly, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. I might just use it every now and then because it's still a fun thing, right? And games are meant to be entertaining, not necessarily fun, but entertaining, which are two different things, and that is something to keep in mind. Ooh, I should probably have things like this one. I need this. Oh, God damn it. We need this. Let's add that. Oh, all too new, but it's inspiration, right? That is what references are. Oh, look at that. Wait, look at this. Is it Tim Burton-esque? Is it? Gonna add that. Let's see what happens. I think that is why the movie Alien was such a genre-defining horror movie. Suspense is much more subtle, but no less terrifying, as long as the viewer get the payoff closure. Exactly. And one of the games I used as a inspiration for this was Alien Isolation, but not the later part of the game, because at the end, this is a bit of a spoiler alert. So if you don't want to know the spoiler of the game, well, it's a small spoiler, I guess. But towards the end, you all of a sudden gain more power. All of a sudden, you have flamethrowers, and I believe you have something else, but you become able to fight back a bit more, at least compared to in the beginning, where you have to really hide and be careful around the alien. And I see why it happened. I personally don't like it. And that's a personal perspective of it. I prefer it if it's more Amnesia is probably the better, not better, but the game I'm trying to replicate. The idea of you can't fight back. It's impossible. But then again, we're not going to have aliens. We're not going to have monsters or zombies. But the idea that you are isolated, you're vulnerable, you're paranoid, and hopefully scared. All of those emotions, but not empowered. I don't want that. I don't want you to feel like, hell yeah, I can fight back. No, no, never. You're vulnerable the entire time. What is that? Wait, what is this? By the way, all these pop-ups, hopefully they don't show. What is this? This is... Who makes these things? That's so weird. Let's see. Amnesia, Outlast. Outlast is really great. I have one pet peeve with Outlast. There's moments where it becomes, again, back to that fantastical stuff rather than that subtle initial fear that you have. You play Alien Isolation in VR, you couldn't leave the first room. Yeah, I can see that happen. I can see it happen to me too, if I ever played. I haven't played Alien or any horror game in VR, but I can do a correlation here. Have you ever played, what's the name of that plank game? Can't remember. Someone's Plank, where you go up an elevator, then you walk outside, and you're up this high place. I couldn't walk it the first time. It is too much. And then I imagine, in your case, playing the horror game Alien Isolation in VR. Yeah, it's not my thing. Not my thing. No, Ice Bear, be kind. Have you tried it? Have you tried Alien Isolation VR? And how many rooms did you get through? I just took the headset off and closed it down and haven't touched it since. Exactly. Been there, done that. Hmm. What else? I mean, paintings like these would be interesting, right? Would it? Having, since this is a workshop, so you would have these types of things, wouldn't you? I'm just going to grab that. It's not the exact one I'm after, but just reminding me that we want drawings, blueprints. Yep, yep. There we go. Ooh, what else? This is to Tim Burton. Don't want that. This, however. All right, now I'm starting to feel we're entering territories that might be too much for TOS. Hopefully not. All right, we got some ads. So, taking a break. Grab some water, do some stretches. Actually, that's a good idea. I'm going to do some stretches. Be right back. All right, we're done with ads. So, hamster, maybe a movement animation schematic, joint links. Oh, that is true. Oh, Prima Victoria, absolutely. It's one of the old school Sabatons. Oh, and that reminds me. Have you ever heard of a band called Amon Amarth, hamster? That's a old school metalhead. This one, probably their most played. It's called Twilight of the Thunder God. You have? Oh, perfect. And of course, you're not really into them? I'm sorry to hear that. But that is a Swedish band also. You might even tell by looking at their image. Like 2 meters, or what would that be in feet? I don't know. 6'3", 6'7". I don't know. 7 feet. I don't know. I can't do feet. Probably close to 7 than 6. Then, of course, you have the big beard, the long hair, the metal stuff. We're going to listen to them after this one. And, of course, what else do we have? We have In Flames. Good Swedish band. Probably should add an In Flames song. I haven't listened to In Flames in quite some time. Let's see. Where are you? Should we listen to a newer version, new song? Well, an old one. What do we have? I mean, Stay With Me is pretty good. A lot of the I Am Above. Let's go with that. I haven't listened to that one in quite a while. It's a newer, new album from them. But yeah, what else do we have? Hammerfall. I think Hammerfall is decently famous. I'm not sure. What else do we have? Well, of course, everyone knows about ABBA, although metal is not very metal, is it? But yeah, we do know about ABBA, right? Windrose. We could do some Windrose. Where are they from, by the way? Of course. They are New Zealand. I think they're from New Zealand. Same as Ailstorm, if I'm not mistaken. Let's check. Wind Rose. Let's do that. They are a band from. Where are you from? Tuscany. Really? There you go. The whole dwarven metal. Yeah. I love bands that pick a theme like that. I mean, similar to Ailstorm, drinking pirates from down under or whatever of them. And I'm bleeding. Why am I bleeding? I need to fix that. Be right back. Toys. That feels like a AI. I mean, it's still a feeling though. None of these really speaks to me, so we're gonna skip that one. I think we grabbed this one already. We grabbed that one. And this one we grabbed, I think. And that one. Okay, perfect. Hansel and Gretel. Let's see if we can't find more. Let's do this. Because we're, as Hamster mentioned, all of the schematics and animation stuff, that could be nice to have. Although we're not going to animate toys. Probably not. I'm going to keep that open. Most likely we're not going to animate anything, but I do like the idea of having that on the wall, kind of telling a story of who and what the toy maker had around him. These are way too. I feel it's way too much Tim Burton-esque feeling. That one might be cool. This feels too new. This doesn't feel like the time era I'm working with. I'm looking at more like, I guess, the 19th century, 1800s, maybe even early 1900s. Is that Elsa? It looks like Elsa from Frost, doesn't it? Or Frozen, whatever it's called. Oh, that's definitely Harry Potter stuff. What else? We can grab that one. Let's see. I might no. I haven't seen it, but I know of it. I've seen clips or snippets. Because that is Tim Burton, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, these dolls definitely reminds me of that. Might be right up my alley. Might be. Maybe. For the game, I'm debating whether or not I am more of a realism type of artist myself, but the idea of going with a Tim Burton-esque style, it is compelling. It is. Let's keep that in mind. It is a kid's movie, but not really. But, all right. Here's a theory I have. If you go back, and I'm talking, oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this, more than 30 years, back to the 90s. God, it's been so long. Those movies from that time, they weren't really kids' movies, were they? At least I can't think of a single kids' movie. Dang, you are old. Shut up. But I can't see, looking back to all of those Cartoon Network stuff we saw back in the 90s or in movies, very few of them felt like what I would call a kids' movie today. You're 55, well, age is just a number, isn't it? It's all about your mental, your mind. I was about to say you're as old as my dad, but you're not really, not really. My dad's quite a bit older than that. But yeah, but I mean, is it just me or were the movies and cartoons back then more adult than they are today? Like I'm looking at what do you have? You have Paw Patrol, you have the Disney movies there, although they do talk about some very serious topics every now and then. You don't have what you had back in the days where everything was really weird. You're back. Your back thinks a bit different about age than just being a number. Yeah, I agree. The mind and the body tends to grow apart with time. Maybe it will be synchronized eventually, but yeah. I mean, my mindset, my mental state is probably closer to 20s, late mid 20s, maybe early 30s. My body, just like you, has starting to feel. I'm starting to feel its age. My back, of course, because I am a sedentary man. I do sit down at my desk quite a lot. I do try to go to the gym. It helps. It does really a lot. Is there something happening on YouTube side? Still, I'm trying to keep track. Um, the big thing about my back, though, what helped me a lot was going to the gym. It does help. You don't have to go all in. You don't have to lift really a lot. You can just do it. Just go through the motion, and it does help. Kids Moves back then had to entertain adults. Exactly. It was just so different. I mean, just think of the idea of like, okay, so Cartoon Network was a big deal for me. I watched a ton of Cartoon Network growing up. It's probably the big reason why I'm at this level of English that I'm at. Like my vocabulary comes from a lot of Cartoon Network, and I've consumed a lot of American culture through movies, through cartoons, through YouTube. The point is, like, you have cow and chicken, which is two siblings, a cow and a chicken, that has parents with only legs, and there's a character in it that is the devil, but he's not really the devil, and the humor is more sensual than I expect from. I don't know how to explain it. It is a time and a period in human history that's just weird. And all the toys. I mean, what was slime was a thing back then? You have gore was a thing. I remember some toys. What was the name of that toy line of toys? You had monsters with open rib cages and things like that. It's just really weird. What else did we have? Cow and chicken, of course. You had I Am Weasel and IR Baboon. Um, you had Nickelodeon, which is like GAC, whatever it's called. It's just what the hell were we thinking? I was entertained. Don't get me wrong, but I wonder what kind of psychological damages it's done to me. Who would I have been if I didn't watch all of those weird uh, cartoons? Who knows? Less entertaining, probably. That is who I will be. Less entertaining. Oh, look at this. I kind of like the idea of the proportion of this doll. First of all, let's grab this, by the way. We need to find something more of its time. This is just a bit too modern. So we need to find something else. Can we find something that fits more? You don't remember you didn't have a kid until the mid 90s? Yeah, well. So wait, so what would that be then? What would be the typical early, like young mid 90s kid? My brother was born 97, so he will be in that category. But I'm suspecting that what we showed him and what your kid would watch probably quite different. I'm curious, what did people look at back then at that time? If you were like 5 years old, late 90s, what would you look? What was the cartoons you'd had back then? We need this one. Oh, that post kind of fun. I like that. But this is a ton of dolls. We need less dolls for a while. We need more environments. Can we get that? I'm looking through Pinterest either way. Didn't mean to do that. Old workshop. Can't spell. There we go. All right. That's good. I'm gonna grab this because I do like the idea of maybe having a doll post like this. And we still needs to find more schematics. I agree with that. Disney movies like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, I mean that was a good era for Disney in my mind. Love the Lion King, the Aladdins. Beauty and Beast wasn't really my thing, but there was a lot of bangers back then from Disney. Um, Still, there's a few good ones nowadays too, but that was the time. I love that Disney time, that Disney era, I should say. Um, all right, hear me out on this one. This one is weird, but hear me out. If you can load, please. The colors and I guess even the fact that it's a frog kind of reminds me of the era, the theme I'm going for. It's just a poor image though. Low res might not be interesting. Well, I'm just gonna grab it either way. Might be fun to add something like this. Where are we? Let's do that. And this, honestly, hand puppets. That could be something. Because I don't want this to be all about dolls. It is a toy store, toy maker. So we need more toys, right? And I'm thinking I might be just doing like adding my gaslighting myself, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Probably not. But adding like the idea of having hand puppets would be a thing in olden days. Does that make sense? Hope it does. All right. Just gonna do that. All right. I like the pose of this one, so I'm just gonna grab that. It's starting to be quite the mess. And what else? How about these? I'm gonna grab that. That's a bit too new, but I like the atmosphere. Nice. I'm just gonna grab a ton of these. That gives the right feeling. I like that. What else? This, but it's too jolly. So we're not going for that. This one though. What else? Are we listening to only a monomarth right now? I think we are. We need this. There we go. Shrill, how you doing? Welcome. How your day been? Anything fun to tell us? We're just looking at reference images right now. How much of the game is done? About 90%. I'm releasing tomorrow or yesterday. Sorry, I'm releasing yesterday. Yeah. You missed it though. So we're working on something else right now. Oh, I like the thought of having like a storage like that. Not sure about this. I mean, having a blacksmith area in nah. Ooh, I like the atmosphere. Let's see if we can grab that. Have I heard of Sanctuary? The band. Have I heard of Sanctuary, the band? I'm gonna say a maybe on that one. A maybe. Nevermore. Both of them are like, I think I've heard them. Let's try them out. Where's the link where you can try out the game? Well, I'm already told you that you missed it. You missed it, Shrill. It's done. We're past that now. Sanctuary Frozen. Let's go with that. Let's see. Sanctuary. Quite a lot of bands, to be honest. That's called Sanctuary. The biggest one has about 7,000 subscribers, so And I'm talking about YouTube stuff. And these guys look like metalheads, so I'm going to assume it is that. Let's see. Frozen. You mentioned Frozen. Let's see. How about this? Sanctuary Frozen. How about that? I'm going to play that next. And there was something else you mentioned. Okay. By the way, Shrill, congratulations on the 3-stream streak. A guy it worked, by the way. I didn't think it would work that redeem. Where else? You mentioned Nevermore, was it? There we go. Nevermore. Oh, yeah. That's metalheads. Look like they're pissed off and they have unruly hair everywhere. Yep. Metalheads. 2.2 million plays. Believe in Nothing. How about that? Never heard it, so let's go with that. That. Nevermore is the same singer, and one of the guitarists actually broke up in the early 80s, 90s. I Voyager is a good one from Nevermore. All right. See. Well, I did look at their top songs, and apparently, maybe I picked the wrong band, but it looks like it would be them. How about we show all? How about that? There you go. There's a remix of it. Maybe not. Do you think the remix of I Voyager works? It's a remaster and remix. I'm gonna add it to next or add to queue. Let's see what that gives us. Sure. Yep. All right. Let's go with that. It's gonna be quite the contrast to go from Aerosmith to metalheads. It's gonna be fun. All right. That looks like Adam Savage's workstation or workshop. Maybe a bit more messier than his. What else? Perhaps, you know what we can do? We can go to these. Usually you would get, here we go. Adam Savage is a legend, yes. He is. It kind of reminds me, I used to follow his tested videos or channel. Haven't seen that in a while. I loved his one-day builds. That was one of my favorite series he's done. He's done less of that. Sorry, I got a bit distracted. That's a good intro to the song. All right. Nice transition over to more melodic stuff. Like it. Warrell Dane used to sing in the Stratosphere back in the 80s. Oh. Why does that name ring a bell? Who are you? Oh, okay, so that is the singer. I thought I recognized the name, though. And he's unfortunately no longer with us. That's sad. But this is good. Yeah, this is good. Love it. That tone he just took. He reminds me of someone. Who was it? I'm pretty sure I never heard this guy before. But that tone did remind me of something. I don't know. I'm going to add this to my favorite, though. So let's see. Where are you? Gonna give it a thumbs up, and it's in my list. All right. Do I like this image? I like it in the way that it gives me the correct like reference to what the tools would look like? Because this is not AI again, right? No, I don't think it is. Your favorite singer of all time? Dude, he's amazing. Maybe this tone-wise, he every now and then reminds me of Ozzy Osbourne. That tone, that the fine tone, the way he took that, the way he, it kind of reminds me sometimes how Ozzy would sing in the Crazy Town song, like how he would like hold tones. Does that make sense? Maybe I'm just crazy. Yes, I know I'm signed out. What else do we have? So all of these are way too pristine. Although I do like the rustic nature of that workbench. I'm going to need more of those because eventually I'm going to have to make a workbench model, and you need the references. So, oh god, I have so many. All right. All right. Hmm. Ooh, I love that image. Let's see if it looks good when we enlarge it. Enlarges. Look at it. What else? Okay. So I am going to grab this image. AI modified. Awesome. Thank you. God damn it. What does that mean? What does AI modified mean in this case? Looks like more a tone type of modification because everything else looks decent. It's actually this song called Ascension to Destiny. Love that name. And it's about 411 into the song. It hits the highest note I've ever heard a guy hit with vibrato to boot. Oh, vibrato, of course, not vibrato. All right. I'm curious now. Okay, let's look it up. Sanctuary. Oh, what's the name of the song? Ascension. Okay. Because that is a big deal. Because metalheads, there's a lot of singers who can hit high notes, or at least what feels like a high note, I guess. So we'll see. There's a demo. It's not the right one. No, it should be this one. All right. This is so good. I love this. Anything else from this I like? Maybe this. Maybe. But that's also AI. I mean, I've mentioned this a few times, and I might sound like I'm this really hateful of AI. I'm not necessarily. I'm careful when it comes to AI because things can be deceiving when it comes to AI stuff. So I'm really careful trying to not find like pick pictures that doesn't really represent reality. And in this case, I don't know. I'm gonna say no to that one. This one I like purely because of the atmosphere. And it could be kind of maybe a fun intro to the game. that you walk up to something that looks like this. It might have to be bigger because I'm thinking more of a mansion or a larger house. So alternatively, it could start out as a small house, and you'll find out that there's a basement or something, which increases the size of the map. That one has a lot of hell marks of AI. This one, particular one, you think so? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, look at this. Yeah. There's some, yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna be careful with this one. I'm not 100% sure it is AI, but there are elements. Yeah, I agree. I'll be careful with that one then. Did I pick it though? I did. So I guess this could be more of an atmosphere rather than a perfect reference. Good catch though. On an even plane, the doors are different sized. Yeah, very true. And this window is very close to the door, isn't it? It kind of annoys me that I can't tell for sure. It's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie. This should be AI. I don't want this to turn into AI or not the game show. You know what? If it's not super obvious, I'm just gonna ignore it, and I'm gonna pick it because of atmosphere, and it gives me a certain feeling. But there's too many new elements in this one, so I'm just gonna skip it. But is there anything else we can look at? All right, so hear me out. This one, sorry, this image could be the cover. Remove everything that screams 70s, 80s, 90s. Add a ton more like 1800 stuff. Give that character more deprecated or give it more atmosphere. I think this could be really cool cover image with a ton of modification, of course. But maybe the layout, the concept itself. All right? Or is it just me? I think that could be cool. No, it isn't just me. I think it's, I'm going to call it, it is the best idea. Frame really well for the title at the top too, right? You have enough space at the top and it still gives you a visual interest because it's, yeah, no, I agree. That's a good point. Yep, we got it. Um, all right. This is him in the 80s. It felt like it would be early stuff from 86. Okay. There is a distinct 80s to it, right? I feel like so this is just me, perhaps. I felt like one thing that is distinct to the 80s metal genre or scene was the technology back then didn't necessarily allow for full sound. It is a bit toned down compared to the previous song. You can still hear everything that you need to hear, and it's an amazing song. But the fullness of the song isn't there really there, if that makes sense. But I like it. Debut album, yeah. Refuge denied. And I mean, that's also the main reason why it might sound like that too. If it's a debut album, they didn't have the experience. Maybe they weren't able to pay off someone to really mix the tape properly, master. I think that's the term you use, master the tape or the album. But yeah, it's definitely up my alley. Ooh, that. All right, how far are we? Because it was at 4:11, right? We're 2 minutes in, and I'm sure I'll react the moment he does it. The high pitched tone. What else do we have? What time is it, by the way? Oh shit! Time flies. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna speed this up just a little bit. You know what? Let's grab it. That's gonna be a mess. I'll have to fix that at some point. Um, you've been working on a cabin fever game. I love that idea. That's a big deal, cabin fever stuff. It's about when the chorus starts that has his own backing vocals that hit the super high notes. All right. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting really close to that. Oh, this I like. I'm just throwing everything into my. It's a mess. No, we're gonna go away from that one. No, I kind of like the layout, the idea of high, tall building. I kind of like that. And we got ads coming soon too. I don't like that. I can't snooze, unfortunately. And then we have this. Do I still like this one? I don't know. I don't know if I do. Do I like this? Dude. Let's try that one more time. We might get ads in the middle of this, but oh, he just keeps going up. And the way he sustains it too. Dude, I love it. It's insane that this is their debut album too. That's insane. Hmm. I don't like this one anymore. We picked this one. We can do this. All right, we got some ads. So I'm gonna grab some water. Make sure you stretch. Old legs needs to move. Yeah, Prime, so you never catch ads. That's great. I don't have Prime, but I do pay for Turbo on my private account, and I do not regret it. I love it. What is the monthly for Prime nowadays? Oh, I was trying to stretch my legs. Ah, I'm gonna hear my old man grunts. The same? Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense. Maybe I should go to Prime then. Yeah, same. Oh, okay. I've been considering. I mean, I like the idea of Turbo because it gives some to the streamer, and I don't have to worry about ads. But Prime does give me the advantage of Amazon and what is it? The what's the name of their Prime streaming service? Is it Prime? $11. Okay. All right. So Twitch side, welcome back. Prime Video, that's the one. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do this, that, and there we go. I need to look over the timing of my ads. So usually at this time I end stream because in 10 minutes I have to go to work, which means I have to go up, grab some water, then sit back down again. I have the luxury of being able to work remotely, which is nice. But either way, I do have to end it right here. And you have to go to bed. Go to bed, hamster. And thank you for showing up. It's been a blast. And thank you for recommendations, by the way. Sanctuary, Nevermore, great stuff. So, oh, don't worry. Again, thanks for showing up. Everyone, thank you for showing up. And hopefully by next time, I don't have to use my mobile phone to keep track of YouTube chat. So, who knows? I spare you too. Have a good one. And Shrill, thank you for showing up. Everyone, thank you. And yeah, I'm just going to end it. It's going to be a cold ending, whatever it's called, just a quick one. So, everyone, thank you all for showing up. And I do hope everyone has a good day, good night, and have a great day. Bye bye.